Hi everyone, it's Shannon and thank you for watching. So today I am continuing my series of best and worst rooms at Walt Disney World resorts, and we have moved on to the moderate category, and today we're actually going to cover what probably I would consider a moderate plus, and that is the cabins at Fort Wilderness. So if you don't know, the Fort Wilderness opened in November of 1971, so just after the Magic Kingdom or Walt Disney World opened. It opened shortly thereafter. I'm not exactly sure when the cabins were opened, if it opened right after, but the Fort Wilderness has been there since, almost 50 years this year. So now there are 409 air-conditioned cabins. I'm not going to go over the campsite because I really have no idea as far as what campsites are good because I am not the camping type. But I will tell you, I did stay at the cabins and we absolutely loved them. We actually stayed there for our son's first birthday, and I stayed there because I was still breastfeeding and I needed some place to kind of store the milk and, probably way too much information for you all. But anyway, I needed a kitchen to make it a long story short. And I booked the cabins. It was the cheapest option. Well, that was what convinced us to buy into DVC because we realized having a kitchen was really a game changer when traveling to Walt Disney World. And even though we still stay in studios sometimes when we go travel to DVC, for those long trips that we do in December, we absolutely get a 1-bedroom. And our first taste of it was at Fort Wilderness Cabins. So we're gonna go into that. Like I said, there's 409 of these cabins. There are 2 toward the front by the lake. So by Hoop-de-Doo, by Trails End, there's 2 cabins. However, those 2 cabins are handicapped accessible. A lot of people request those cabins because it's closer to the boat, it's closer to just a lot of the activity that happens at Fort Wilderness. The other 407 cabins are located near the front of the resort. Now, if you've ever been to Fort Wilderness, it is huge. So we're going to go over the different areas and what I learned by staying there. A couple things. If you're going to stay in a cabin, you need a golf cart. You need to call them. You need to rent one. You need one. We rented it. I had heard about it. We rented it. It was fantastic. While we were there, people were trying to rent it and they were full. So don't think you can just walk up and get it. Oh, we'll see when we get there. You have to reserve it. Maybe sometimes you'll get lucky and you will be able to walk up and get one. But I know when we went, it was the first week of December in 2016, and they were fully booked. So keep that in mind, but add that into your budget because it really is a necessity. There's a bus that goes around the loop, but it's just, you don't want to have to rely on that. You can really, and then it's also fun just to drive around Fort Wilderness in the golf cart. It's just a lot of fun. You do have a parking space for your car right outside your cabin, which is really convenient as well. We did take the bus when we stayed there. We took the bus to Epcot and we took the boat to Magic Kingdom. Now we did have to take our golf cart to the marina and then take the boat from the marina. So those are the things that you just have to keep in mind. But I think the Fort Wilderness Cabins is more of a relaxing trip where you're going to explore the Fort Wilderness and the camping, and it's kind of camping or glamping, I guess you could say. But there's so much to do there. You can literally go to Fort Wilderness and never go to the parks. So let's get into, I guess best and worst cabins at Fort Wilderness.
As always, we'll start at the page dedicated to the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort on touringplans.com. And here you can find a lot of information as to why people stay there. We wanted a separate bedroom area. We wanted a kitchen. This would be the check-in area right here. Gives a lot of information. Here's some pictures of the cabin. And everybody has a deck. Very, very convenient. Here is Pioneer Hall. Pioneer Hall is where Hoop-de-Doo is and where Trails End is. Here's some more pictures of one of the cabins and all the amenities that take place are in the cabin. And then here is a layout. The layout is very weird. I will say it's a queen bed here. There's a bunk bed here, and I believe this is a pull-out sofa. So, and I'm not even sure if this is a queen. This might even be a full, but so it's a very tight living space, but it's still very nice. And when we stayed here, having a kitchen was really the game changer for us. So there you can see it. There's the queen bed with the bunk beds and all in one room. And then I guess, again, there's the pull-out sofa in the living room. But all this will give you all the information regarding the cabins at Fort Wilderness. Here we have the map of Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. Again, we're just going to be going over the cabins. I have no idea about campsites, and I wouldn't even know where to start, but we're going to go over the cabins today. So just as you can see, it is a very, very large resort. Right here is where you check in. It's the Outpost Depot. There's a bus. This is also where all the buses are to the parks. So if you are all the way over here in one, you have to take an internal bus to get here to then switch buses to get to the parks. So one of the things I always recommend is if you are staying at the campground to rent a golf cart. You have to RSVP, make a reservation before you get there. I don't know the going rate. I know they used to be $60 a day. I don't know if that's still the rate, but it's absolutely a necessity to rent a golf cart while you're staying at Fort Wilderness. Can you get by without one? Yes, absolutely. But you need to add in a lot more time to get around because everything it's just very, very sparse. So again, this is where you check in. This is where all the buses are. And as you can see, these are all the internal bus stops throughout the resort. And you'll see here, there's a trading post right here. And the settlement outpost right here. So basically 2 shops. And then this is Pioneer Hall. This is where Crockett's Tavern is, Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, as well as Trails End. And then the Trail D Ranch is around here somewhere. It's not on the map, but it's around here, not too far. And this would be where the pony rides are. And also you can see the horses and the Cinderella's ponies. And the horseback riding is in the front. So the pony rides are back here, but the trail ride, horseback riding is over here. So it kind of gives you an overview. You see there is a pool here. This is pretty much the pool for the cabins. The pools are very basic, but at least there is a pool. There's also a pool over here. And I think that's it. That's all that there is. Now, there are laundry facilities at both of these. So if you need to do laundry, because the cabins, although they do have a full kitchen, they do not have laundry. So the laundry is over here by the pool. And then the Chippendales sing-along is right around here. So it's right next to the pool. It's right around here. You would actually take this bus, and then there's a bridge, I believe, that goes over. So it's right around here. So it's around the 14. So that kind of gives you an overview of the resort and how large it is. So like I said, I highly recommend renting a golf cart. So as you can see, section 1 is marked, but then the rest are all towards the front. And I'm going to show you why. So we click on 1, and this is pretty much a regular campsite. However, there are 2 standalone cabins within the regular campsite. And the reason why is these are handicapped accessible cabins. They save these for individuals or for families who need an accessible cabin. Can you request them? Absolutely. You'll be very close to the marina. You'll be very close to Trails End and Pioneer Hall. But I think, there's only 2 of them. So most of them, over 400 are in the other section. So you could request them, absolutely, but they are going to be reserved for people who need them. So let's go back. And I did forget to mention that the marina, as you can see, the marina is here. So you can take this boat to Magic Kingdom. You can also take the boat to Contemporary or Wilderness Lodge. So it's very, very convenient. You can take it to those 2 resorts or to Magic Kingdom. They are different boats to each of those. So now let's take a look over here at the actual area. And as you can see, there are 2 bus stops. So you have one right between 27 and 28, and then you have one right here near 23. So again, I do recommend going to renting a golf cart. I've mentioned that before. And the other thing I would say is you want to be near the entrance. So if you would want to be by here, let's see, like here, 2701. I mean, the views are all going to be the same. But no matter where you are in there, I'd always suggest just being towards the front. Just takes you, if you're over here, you got to go all the way around. Not so bad if you're in a golf cart, but if you need to walk to the bus, then that's going to be a lot. So 27 or 28 are both very convenient. When we stayed here, we were right at the front of 27, and it was actually fairly convenient. We did have a golf cart, but if we needed to use the bus, it wasn't a long walk. It was a pretty decent walk because we were right at the entrance. I think we were the second cabin, which was very convenient. But I will tell you, even taking the golf cart to this bus stop was a hike. I would not have wanted to walk it. It doesn't look like very big here, but it was a pretty good drive on the golf cart. However, where I would recommend staying is 25. And this is, again, if you have a golf cart. If you don't have a golf cart, then I definitely recommend being either 23 or 22 near the bus stop, or 27 or 28 near the bus stop, because you want to be near the bus stop if you choose not to rent a golf cart. If you choose to rent a golf cart, then I would choose 25. And I'm going to pull this up right here. And that's because the pool is right here, very convenient. And you have the laundry if you need it, but it's just very convenient. So this is where I would recommend. I would recommend anywhere in 25, and I would try to choose to be near the front. So 21, 2, and as you can see, the lower numbers are the ones on the outside, 32, and then they go up. So I would try and say, near the entrance of the section. So I would recommend 2500 loop for the cabins if you have a golf cart, because it'll put you the closest to the pool and the closest to the laundry. Now, if you choose not to get a golf cart, again, let's look at 28. I would look at these right here. You have 2868, 2870, again, or you're going to be 1 and 2. So I would say near the entrance, request to be near the entrance, because you want to be able to walk out and take the bus and not have to have a long walk. Because if you're over here, it's going to be quite a bit of a walk to get to the bus stop. Same thing for 27. I think this was our cabin right here. We were, I believe, 2769, if I remember correctly. So it was very convenient, but I would say request one of those to be closest to the entrance exit of the loop. So again, 28, 27, if you are not getting a golf cart and close to the entrance. And if you are getting a golf cart, the section I would recommend is the 2500 loop. So that's pretty much it. Now, if you do have a handicapped accessible and you need it, then definitely request building 1 in one of those 2 cabins. And then I would also, for that, I would call and let them know that you do need a handicap accessible. I don't know if they ask for documentation on that, but if you do need that handicapped accessible cabins, make sure you call and make sure someone knows, rather than just sending in a room request. That's the only time I would suggest calling. Otherwise, these are the great rooms. 23 right here, entrance right here would also be close to the bus stop as well. But I still think 28 or 27, because that gives you 2 chances to be, and the bus stop is right in the middle. So that's it. Those are my suggestions for the best cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. So now we're back at my dashboard, and as you can see, I've plugged in a sample trip. So Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, so I can pick the room that we want. So let's see, standard view cabin. And let's say we are going to get a golf cart. So I want to be in the 2500 loop, and I'm going to request this one right here, 2501. So I'm going to click that. There you go. That's what it looks like. And it says click here to make a request for this room. I'm going to click here, 2501. And there it is, requesting room 2501. But you're not done. You got to configure the room request. And there's my information. It plugged in my name and my email, which is fake. You would plug in your reservation number, put that in there. They cannot fax this room request without your reservation number. So keep that in mind. And as you can see, it will say Building Fort Wilderness, 2500 loop, obviously floor 1, there's no second floor, and then do not change that, but it's going to give you all the numbers. And then I would just put here 2500 loop, and then near entrance exit. And that's it. I'm going to save it. And now 30 days before our trip, touring plans will email this to Disney, and the room assigners will know exactly what we're looking for when staying at Disney's Fort Wilderness. And that's it. Thank you very much.
So there you have it. Those are my recommendations on best and worst areas or cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. Make sure to use touring plans to make your request. And I think with this, it's kind of interesting because you're really requesting a section. So definitely take a look. Those two in the front, you can request them, but remember, they're going to be reserved for people that really need them. So those are probably those unicorn cabins because you're going to be near the marina, but I wouldn't bank on them because they're probably going to be reserved for someone who really needs them. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.